Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you from the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2025 a semifinals Game 2 matchup between a Big Slamu and Tabby Orange. I'm VT Slacker. I'll be handling tracking, but I'll pass it over to our commentator for this race, Sonny Rath. Take it away, Sonny.
Thanks, VT. So yeah, welcome everybody to Game 2 of the semifinals. If you missed Game 1, it was a really good game. Tabby, though, is up 1, looking to claim the first spot in the finals, with Slamu being the number 1 seed, also a very fierce competitor. What will happen within the seed? Who knows, because I'm the one that rolled it, so if this is a jet, y'all get to yell at me. So, I look forward to it. And, fun fact, with the first seed that rolled, we got an error on it, so I let that one cook a little too long to where it got burnt. But, we should have the runners off and running here very shortly. Exactly, Gundam Girl. Exactly. All right, and the runners are off. So what will we see here on the west? Looking like a vanilla-like right now. We'll just have to wait and see as a little bit more is found. Alright, couple caves right out the gate here, just north of the first of the starting palace, and we do have a magic container cave, as Slamu is gonna take a death to a red Dyra as well as Tabby. Having red Dyra here in this cave, especially right at the start, while you're still all ones, not the most fun thing in the world. So you gotta be really careful here. Oh, Tabby surviving a hit. Is he gonna get the kill? He is! And that's gonna be an immediate life level for Tabby, just to refill as well as have that extra bit of protection. So, not a bad start for Tabby right now. Gonna go ahead and skip the magic level, which is to be expected at this point. And looking like a Geldarm in that last pit. But Bagu's Note going to be the first item picked up here out of the magic container cave. And with that, Tabby is now off a bit more. Looking at this a bit closer, it's looking more Islands-like now. We haven't seen what the small enemy drop pool has just yet, so we don't know if there are any high-value P-bags in the pool, but there's at least a Link doll in it. So that is something. And the second cave here is going to be Heart Container Cave, so we got Magic Container and Heart Container right at the start. Right now, enemy set not looking too bad. Tabby looking to get attack 2 here, as Slamu is just working on taking out the enemies. That would be the Dragon Lord, and we have Thunder coming out of the Heart Container Cave at a cost of 101 at Magic 1. So it might be a little bit before either of them can cast that. We'll just have to wait and see how the curve plays out as they continue to play through the seed. And yes, it is the Dragon Lord from Dragon Warrior. Okay, this does look a lot more like Islands, and okay, no, it is a vanilla-like, and it's a very interesting vanilla-like, but Bagu's Note is absolutely required here. So, we already have an interesting start to this seed. Go west to find the mirror. here inside where the mirror is. It's Fairy at it cost a 73, so at least Magic 2 needed to be able to cast it. So right now we're at a potential of going very quickly. And Slimu is going to take a look around real quick, make sure. I missed what the hint was, but I'm assuming it was that Fairy is in Saria. Alright. Now for the other side. We've got either Fairy Cave or Parappa. And either Fairy or Parappa. So we have double Fairy Parappa. And Tabby, just looking to get a little bit of extra EXP, instead gets the Link Doll drop. There is a town, and this is Jump Cave. Tabby not gonna go into it, not that I can blame him. There's no real reason to. Continuing over here to find Flute Town. We know that the mirror is in the west, which leads to medicine, and that in turn will lead to the flute, as the jump spell is located right next to Mito, which is going to be extremely useful for getting down stab early on. Could also be required. We'll just have to wait and see if the locker room comes into play in GP, or even some other potential jump rooms. It's Baby Seed right now. That can change very quickly. Of course, Head Naze with the Life spell, so Life in P1. We know there's going to be at least one item of a potential 2. So Tabby picking up down stab at, we'll say 612. And Slimu going to see if there was anything there on the southern side, but unfortunately would have to go through Jump Cave to find out until the boots are obtained. So we got Red Jar, we got Leak Dolls. Not seeing much of anything else right now, but there are still quite a few things that could be available, as we do find P6, as it has 3 items, and with these pillars it can only be 3 or 6. With 70-point red iron knuckles. A little unfortunate to see, but it is experience. And we'll go with that. It's experience. Another town here to the south as well as a Hammerblocks Cave, and it is the town of Rauru with a heart container that Tabby is going to take. Check some of the hints along the way. And Slimu coming in, gonna grab that heart container, as opting to not grab the heart container, actually. Gonna see what this palace is. It is a 2-item 2. Very nice to have that found, so you know that 2 of your palaces have rolled max items. Last palace over here is P1, also with 2 items. And here we are, first item in 1 is going to be the raft. And we're going to get a look at the experience available here in 1, 2, and 5. The Orange Iron Knuckles, I believe that was 70 for them. And 50 for the blue Stolfos. Didn't get to see what Fairy's cost was, but Slamu's going to continue on. Finding a key, as Tabby does find another cave. Link dolls everywhere in this seed. So yeah, this is definitely treading more along the lines of a baby seed at this point, with how many Link dolls have been found. And we've got a dead end for Slamu. Tabby gonna go ahead and take life 3. Slamu also taking life 3, so we got 2-2-3 and 2-1-3. As Tabby runs across the child here in Medicine Cave, and Slamu is gonna head down the elevator, see what he can find as he hits another dead end. Gonna go up and take this available right, which is a fun right because of the MOAs, and gets greeted by another dead end immediately. Tabby, on the other hand, gonna continue working on exploration. Alright, Slamu a little low on life, but does find the second item. No keys required to get either item in this palace. And it'll be the life spell, as we saw from the hint that I believe it was Tabby got earlier. So not a bad pickup with that life spell. And Slamu is going to continue exploring through. Yeah, it's either a 4 or 5 bar life, and P1 is about to be done for Slamu. He's going to be able to be in a good position continuing forward in this seed, as Tabby finds the way to DM, which has the raft tile. May have to dip into this Bogner's Woods real quick, just see what it has. And he has the mirror. So that is access to medicine, and in turn, the flute. So Tabby just doing a bit more exploration here. Trying to find the remaining item caves where Slamu has his first gem placed. And is sitting at 2-3-4 right now. All the Link dolls coming from the item pools. Alright, Tabby finding the town of Rudo, which holds the spell this time around. Could be required. We have no information on the glove yet. But we'll find out about it soon enough. That other cave we know is going to be the other side of Berry Cave. Tabby going in it, just see if he can get some quick EXP, which doesn't look like he's able to this time around. Slamu, though, picking up the child and looking to exit this medicine cave. Free encounters here on the northern side on the forest tiles. Something that's always nice to see. And Slamu just getting bullied here by the bouncy cats. Alright, another cave located for Tabby. Now with that fairy spell in tow, they both have logical access to palaces. But it's a matter of finding the boots at this point, most likely, in order to make it through Death Mountain, find out what's on the other side of that raft tile. It does seem like Trophy Cave is blocked by the boulder this time around, and there is a 500 point bag that Tabby is going to absolutely take attack 3 off of and be looking good to go. Magic 2 as well. Alright, Tabby taking the up A. Gonna head back to Saria, pick up that medicine, head over to Mito, pick up the flute, and then probably gonna look at diving Palaces 1 and 2. We'll just have to wait and see what he decides to play here. Slimu, on the other hand, about to find Rudo, find out it's the spell, and probably leave immediately. Quick 200-point infusion for Slimu there, as he does find one of the tiles that has a small item in it. Fortunately, this time around, 200-point bag being extremely useful. Alright, Tabby is gonna dive 6. It's 3 items and finds a free item immediately at the entrance. And it is a heart container this time around. Gonna have to up an A. And time to continue exploring this palace. Slimu, on the other hand, about to hit Pillar P-Bag Cave. Be able to check what's in here. Tabby finding the second item here in 6 very quickly. Is able to cast the fairy spell. And Tabby making great use of the lower magic level, getting magic 3 off that kill just to refill his magic right after the blue Stalfos. Second item, unfortunately, only being a P-Bag, but that's not the end of the world. Gonna go all the way up, find that there is a door blocking the way. So now it's time to check some of these other directions. Alright, Tabby going down the elevator. It's time to continue down. And this palace, even though they are Euclidean loops, it has a lot of branches to it. So now it becomes a matter of which branch does he want to take, as Slimu does pick up life 5 here. So he is looking pretty good right now. Tabby, on the other hand, sitting at 333, but looking for Barba, which could net a ton of experience, giving a double, potentially even a triple level here. Slimu takes the up A, gonna return to get the medicine as well as get ready for getting the flute, as Tabby does find Barba here. Has 1 item remaining in the palace, but there's still a lot of palace to go. Tabby getting some amazing Barba cycles here. Anywhere from 8 to 9 hits. Alright, down to the last bar of life. Should be 1 or 2 hits left. And just like that, he's deciding what he wants to take. It looks like he is going to go ahead and take attack 4 here. And with that, he'll have his first gem placed. With 1 item remaining in this 6. It's now the question of whether or not he will go back to find the last item, and the answer is he is going to go back to find that last item. There's still a lot of items available within the seeds, so I cannot blame him for making this decision at all. As Slamu is about to pick up down stab. And that is a drop room that is glove blocked for Tabby. So he's not going to be able to take the drop, but it is connected. And we have keys in the large enemy drop pool, which is nice. Alright, Tabby continuing to explore as Slamu picks up the flute, and Tabby does find that last item very quickly here in the 6, so it's, all things considered, the 6 really isn't that large, and it is another P bag, which is unfortunate. Exactly, keys in the Link Doll pool. Could be Link Dolls in the key pool. Alright, Tabby gonna go into this P2 as Slamu goes into 6 and immediately leaves, mainly for encounter manipulation. So here we go. P2, or as I like to call it, 5 Junior. How bad is this palace going to be? As Slamu is also in 2 now. Tabby just barely missing the kill on the Moa, but continuing off to the right here. We'll be greeted with an elevator down. And Slamu immediately finding the boss. Tabby hits dead end, and boss is down for Slamu. Blink and you miss it. We can say goodbye to Helmet Head. Alright. Tabby getting some beautiful reverse beam hits. And will be at the boss as well. Slamu, though, with Magic 4 now having 2 casts of Fairy in the tank, will be able to make use of a bit more exploration here. And just like that, Tabby's tied up the gems. We'll have life 5 in tow. So the levels being 345 and 435, we have 345 just in different orders between the 2 runners. And they are both taking the first left. leading to an up elevator, and it's going to continue into the palace for a deeper dive. That key is very, very welcome for both of these guys. We have our first item room here. What's it going to be? It is the boots. Tabby's going to go back in, look for that second item, which could make a bit of a difference if this is Reflect or the glove. Alright, Slamu coming into 6 here. Gonna get that heart container right out the gate. And Tabby finds that second item, which is very quick to access. What is it going to be? It is just a Link doll. Tabby gonna go ahead and make his way over to P1, and then it's off to Death Mountain after grabbing the flute. Yeah, I mean, we have seen a total of 7 items in palaces so far. Tabby with attack 4, gonna make slightly faster work of Horsehead coming up, as Slamu is currently on that search for the Barba. Alright, Tabby taking a peek, seeing what the second enemy was. Going, nah, I don't want that. An item drop that's not a jar or a Link doll. Holy moly, they exist? Alright. Tabby with one right left to take here in this P1. Should be finding the rest of the stuff in here very quickly, as he will have life in just a moment, as Slamu going up the elevator and will run into Barba here. Attack 3 Barba for both of them tonight. Slamu is going to play it a bit safer, but still get a good amount of hits in for each cycle. Getting 6 hits in per cycle. And we do have a 5-bar life tonight. Tabby getting absolutely bullied by Horsehead there, but makes it through, and Slamu takes down Barba as well. So they are both going to be neck and neck. So we've got 4-4-5, and we're going to have 4-5-5 for Slamu. So now it's off to DM, and then immediately over to the raft, find out where that leads, because that has one of two possibilities. The raft was over in P1. Tabby soon to pick up the flute as well, as the raft leads to Maze Island. We've got two items here. We've got a palace. We still haven't seen GP yet, but we also haven't seen P4, and we've got a P3 here with no items in it. And yes, Tabby does have the raft, so he will be able to access this Maze Island as well. Slamu doing some searching, seeing what he can find, hoping for one of those item drops to show up before too long. As Tabby does pick up the flute. So here in just a moment, we will have both of them here on Maze Island. And it's going to be that hunt for items as Slamu finds the first one. And it is just a magic container. Though I say just a magic container, that is a very nice find right now. And it looks like the other connector is going to be on Death Mountain. Or the other two connectors, shall I say, will be on Death Mountain. As Tabby does pick up Reflect here in the first cave. Slamu did not go up immediately from the raft tile, unfortunately, and in turn missed the drop, but will have Reflect as well. Has the information that he needs. With the palace here, we'll be able to jump in immediately and get it done. Tabby running about, checking some of these quick checks. Yep, the bridge is going to be on DM as well as that second connector cave. Granted, I think there's a part of the west that we haven't seen yet that could have either one of those connectors. Tabby about to pick up the magic container here in the maze. We'll have both items done, and we'll be looking at coming back into P3. Gonna check the perimeter real quick. Unfortunately, we'll have the bad news of, yeah, there's no continent connector here. But now it's both runners into 3. Both of them with 1, 2, and 6 done. Now it just becomes a matter of who's going to get through this quicker. Slamu making a stop to pick up that 200-point bag, and coming in here with a 500-point bag right out the gate is really, really nice. Tabby gonna opt to ferry this. And Slamu does find the way to Rebanak. Tabby not going to be too terribly far behind on that path. And Slamu getting the rhythm perfectly. just to take out Rebo at a good pace. Tabby losing a chunk of his magic from the bubble, putting him in a slightly unfortunate position. Might still be able to cast Fairy, though. I'm not sure how much it casts. Oh, he'll absolutely be able to cast Fairy. Tabby getting in the corner. And just like that, Rebo's down. There is the sighting of Spec Rock, and there's the bridge that leads to an Islands East. Oh, baby. Alright, P4 Heart Container. We know that GP is going to be over here in the east. As for where it's going to be, who knows? We'll have to wait and find out. But the bigger question right now, where is that glove? As Slamu picks up the candle from the fountain, not a candle I would trust, and Guma sits on the water. Tabby doing some checks here in DM. Taking a look for Hammer Cave while he's here. Finds the other connector, but it's rock blocked. Missed what was on the water tile. And Tabby now sees Spec Rock. Thanks, VT. Alright, Tabby gonna take the bridge, be over here on the east as well. And Slamu checking that cave, making sure that he does not miss an item cave. Because at this point, we're running out of locations for that glove to be. But if it is behind one of the rocks, that hammer going to be huge as Tabby picks up the candle as well. Slamu going to give us a look at what is here in Sunken Peabag Cave. Is it going to be the glove? Because if so, that will put Slamu into go mode, and it is not. It is the cross. Tabby going to pick up the shield spell as well. So not entirely a Jet Seed, but it's been very, very friendly so far. Desert Tile located for Slamu. What's he going to find in here? Just another heart container. It's vanilla. Tabby checking the outside of the valley, seeing what's there. Slamu running into 3-Eye Rock, which held, unfortunately, one of the Darunia tiles. Here's GP in the east. Hammertown is New Kasuto, and it requires 6 magic containers. Alright, Tabby picking up the heart container. Slamu gonna find GP here. And Tabby is looking about. Finds Risen Peabag Cave. Skipping Hammer, I will agree, it does feel questionable in this circumstance, but we'll just have to see what resides here in Risen. If this is the glove, it's going to be really good for Tabby. It is not. It is a Peabag. And Glovetown, Old Kasuto coming in with the goods. That's going to put Slamu into go mode. And as soon as Tabby finds this, that'll put him into go mode as well. The blue Lizalfos worth 500. Really, really nice to see, but unfortunately a bit too late on that. Tabby gonna need to find Old Kasuto, and soon. Alright, Slamu finds P5. Tabby looking around, finds P5 as well, but needs to get to Old Kasuto ASAP. He's going to go in without that glove right. No, he is turning around, going out. He finds the 500-point bag on that extra desert tile, and he sees a town. He's going to go in here, get rewarded with the glove, and be a very, very happy runner. We absolutely do need to summon the chickens to save this seed. Alright, both runners can go. We know that the palace in DV is 4. And they both have these 2 palaces to go. If there's any route divergence that happens within the palaces, we could see a swing in either of their favors. Alright, Slamu finds a left. Tabby gonna continue up. Finds the first item, which is that water. And he's gonna take the same path that Slamu has. The lack of magic, though, is actually going to be a blessing in disguise for him. He's going to opt to take the death and go through the loop. Alright, picks up Leak Doll and Slamu going down some elevators. Tabby getting a nice save, almost got bopped by the Moa into the lava. And Slamu continuing through this 5, both on the search for Guma. Just a matter of where is he. Tabby recognizing the loop. And Slamu finds a drop. Leads to the ship room. We've got a glove blocked drop as well. There's the second item. It is a Leak Doll. And we're continuing left again. And here is Guma. Now Slamu at attack 5 gonna have a better fight on, air quotes better, air quotes easier fight on this Guma than Tabby, who's sitting at attack 4, but I know Tabby was practicing Guma before this race, as well as a few other things. Slamu taking down Guma. Locked doors could actually play a huge part in this GP. Magic Key could actually play a major role here if either of them find it. But now, Slamu's got to find the entrance to the Valley of Death in order to be able to access P4 and be ready to continue on. This attack 4 is ridiculous and I love it. Alright, Slamu has found the entrance. The other item in P5 is just a leak doll. Alright, Slamu nailing these fairy feet. So he is on the way to P4. Tabby getting inside Guma's hitbox there, but unfortunately only nailing one hit. With a 5-bar life refill, he gets the convenience of being able to play aggressively against Guma here. And just like that, Guma's down for Tabby. Both of them only have 4 remaining, as Slamu is in 4. I missed how many items are in here, if any. But I know Slamu has Karok on the mind, and solely Karok. Alright, there's the heart container in 4 that was hinted earlier on in the seed. Slamu's going to pick up the Link doll. And Tabby's just looking for the way in. About to find it. Slamu going down the elevator. Finds Karok. Slamu's going to be our first one into GP. Tabby making a very patient play. Slamu finishing off Karok. Was not in there for very long. Tabby going for some Link feet here. Unfortunately not getting it. Gonna end up taking the death. Yeah, Slamu with the extra magic, or no, yeah, Slamu with the extra magic level going to be real nice, as well as that extra life level. That extra life level may come into play. But he has 1 less heart container than Tabby, and Fire Reflect is absolutely a thing. Alright, Tabby about to be going into P4. Slamu working on getting out of the valley. No upstab for either runner. Darunia was not located. Alright. Tabby working on getting through 4. Slamu, on the other hand, on his way to GP. And he has made it to the palace. 49, we'll call it 49-10 for the barrier being up, as Tabby has made it to Karok. And here we go. How many birds are we going to see here in GP? We already got 2. We got 3 in one room. And pretty quick T-Bird, so now it's time to play. Where's Darklink? There's a ton of GP remaining. Slamu going for the 3 and 2 on the pendulum. Unfortunately, taking a fireball, has 1 hit remaining before he takes that first death. But with T-Bird being so early into GP, I have a feeling we'll see him up in A after this, after T-Bird goes down. Tabby going for the fairy feet. Gets the first one. Not going to opt to link feet for the second. Instead, just going to go with that consistent fairy feet. Gets it. We'll get that magic refill on the way back. Slamo, unfortunately, having a rough go with Berserk T-Bird. Tabby, on the other hand, going to be closing in on GP pretty soon. And T-Bird is down for Slamu. So 49-10. 51-45 for Tabby. But there is a lot of GP left, and if Tabby does not suffer a death here, which he is, because he's going to ferry through, and he can continue on. He's going to turn around, take a lava bath, refill that magic, and take on T-Bird here in a moment, as Slamu is going to start showing us the rest of GP. Alright. Tabby going for the 3 and 2 pendulum pattern as well. Unfortunately takes a hit early on. And the birds are coming out in force right now. Oh, Tabby unfortunately stuck between a rock and a hard place there. Ends up taking a death on his last life right now, as Slamu is just cruising through GP right now. In an elevator shaft, does run into the snake room. Dead end for the first right on Slamu's side, as Tabby is taking T-Bird slow and steady. Tabby with one hit remaining. He makes it through. Tabby did not get upstab, but I think there's one more right available. So this could be grab that hammer, go to Darunia at the Nuke Pseudo tile, and proceed from there, which is exactly what Slamu is about to do. Alright, Tabby continuing through GP. Gets a very nice clip to be able to save that jump. And Tabby about to be looking at the same paths that Slamu just was. Okay, there is not another right, so that upstab block is exactly where they will need to go. So if Tabby can remember exactly how to get to the Nuke Pseudo tile, then he can make up a lot of time here. But Slamu has remembered where the tile is, and there's Darunia. What's it gonna have? As Slamu's not even gonna check to see if it's the magic key, because that could actually be very, very important here if the double glove block room shows up with that keyhole in the middle of it. So here we go. Now with the upstab in tow, Slamu will be able to go back into GP and actually be able to make progress. But that one room, if that one room shows up, that is going to block both of them. Alright, that means Magic Key is either in a palace on the west or somewhere in Nuke Pseudo. Could be DM as well. Yeah, I totally forgot. We haven't even checked stuff in DM. But yeah, Hammer to Darunia to get upstab. This has been kind of a nasty end to what started off as a pretty friendly seed. Alright, Slamu, Cast, and Fairy gonna make it through this first room as Tabby just gets upstab. So now it'll be heading back over to GP for Tabby and continuing in GP for Slamu. Tabby working on getting back over to GP. Slamu soon to be back at that upstab block. Honestly, it's pretty close between the two of these runners. All it takes is a game over which could happen for Slamu. 2 birds in here. Makes for a bad time. Gets one of them down, but I don't think the XP started ticking. So it's no credit for the kill there. Y'all wanted birds and GP, well, you got birds. Alright, Slamu gonna check down the elevator. And gonna stay down. Tabby gonna end up ferrying this room to make it through. Will be out of magic. And already sitting kind of low on life. If Tabby decides to continue left at the fork past the upstab block, then he'll have made up a bit more time on Slamu. But he also needs to hopefully not die here. This jump is a bit finicky. He makes it and then unfortunately falls off right afterwards. That's going to be death 1 for Tabby. Alright, Slamu continuing through. Another room with birds. Tabby, on the other hand, not taking very many hits on the second run through. He is going to check the elevator and opts to stay up on the top path. Slamu getting trapped in the waffles. And here's another elevator down. Leads to a left and a right. Slamu gonna opt to go right. Goes into a dead end. Gonna have to continue left here. Alright. Tabby gonna life up as Slamu runs into a drop. He's gonna opt to take the drop. Tabby getting a nice quantum leap there. Alright, Slamu taking this elevator down. It does not take him to Dark Link. So he has to continue left at this point where he runs into another junction. Going up the elevator. Finds a right, but it most likely is going to loop. Tabby gonna take the elevator up here. Yes, that is more or less the name of Z2. Search for Dark Link. Oh, and Slamu. Slamu has looped. Is Tabby going to continue left here? He's not, but he's going to know that that leads him to loops. Instead, he's going to go all the way up and right. This could be the deciding factor. Tabby going right. No, it loops! He has to continue left! Oh my goodness! Tabby gonna take his second death here. Slamu gonna take his second death as well! We are down to last lives on both of the runners. Slamu wisely deciding to ferry this room. Gonna go down the elevator, and there is Dark Link! We are going to have a Game 3 in this set of the semifinals. Here we go. Get your GGs out for Big Slamu, who ties up the set. What a GP this was. And Tabby not gonna finish long after. Tabby working on taking out Dark Link as we are joined by Slamu. GG's, my friend.
Hey, holy cow! Thank you. I don't know what happened there, but wow.
A lot of things. And there's Tabby finishing as well, with a margin of 48 seconds between the two of you.
Jeez. Yeah. Something tells me I'm gonna learn that upstab skip before the next race.
So that room in particular cannot be upstab skipped.
I was not 100% sure, but I thought I'm like the 2-block one you can, and I'm just sitting there like an idiot stabbing at nothing. Luckily I was 99% sure where upstab was, and I was right. So
Yeah, it had to be on that forest tile, on the new Kasuda tile. There we go.
feels good going 15 minutes from T-Bird down to finding Dark Link though.
Yeah, you both are welcome for that GP, as we are joined by Tabby. GG's, my friend, and dude, you made it close.
Thanks.
Yeah, GG's, Tabby.
Yeah, thanks. GG's to you.
So, this seed started out super kind until y'all got to GP. That GP was atrocious.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I felt like I was cruising pretty well, but I mean, I don't think the seed was necessarily easy, but I felt like, yeah, you found the right route and you could do it pretty quick.
That's pretty much what it boiled down to. Tabby, I watched you practice before, and I gotta say, that Barba fight was beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I don't know how many like items you found, Flammer, but like I found all the dungeon items. Like I just ended up getting all the items in all the West dungeons. Like,
I left
I found the
one and
boots,
two.
but
I left 1 and 2 and then 1 and 6. I was not gonna learn from last race, and I was gonna do the same stupid thing and miss an item that I was required. And yeah, I mean, I hit GP though at like 48 minutes. So
yeah, I was. I finished P4 at 49 minutes, so I was probably 52 or something because getting back out of VOD. Did you get the flute? I like went back and did the whole
oh,
getting the flute.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was it?
I was like, I should do this, and I'm like, I feel like he's gonna do it, so at worst, it's gonna be a wash.
I don't remember, what was it, a P bag?
Yeah. Well, it was
It was
or
one of the
like a
Darunia
Darunia counter.
encounters.
Yeah, it was
Oh, even
just
well, there was two. There was three-eyed rock, but there was also
yeah. There was also an
sunken.
encounter cave or something. I didn't even look in there because I didn't see it till after I had everything, so I like didn't even look.
Yeah, I don't think I had glove at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, because glove was
Glove was at
old
Old
Casuto,
Casuto. Yeah.
which was like one screen over, right? So
Yeah, it was kind of like down from it was because I found P5 and I didn't go in. Then I kept going to the left and I saw Old Casuto and then I went back into P5. I was like, okay, now I'm just going.
Yeah, that glove in Oksudo, if you hadn't grabbed it before going into P5, that would have been slightly rude, but not too terribly rude.
Yeah, I think there was a glove block, but I think it was early.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, of course, GP, we see nothing but glove blocks anymore in that, so it'll
yeah.
be rare to see a gloveless GP.
And I don't know how many instances of the upstab, the hard upstab block room there are, but I feel like it comes up more than like probabilistically it should or something, right?
I'm pretty sure there's just one, but it's also in a. Well, that might be a mirror image of it, but it's one of
Yeah,
the,
I don't
the
think
pool
there's a
of rooms
mirror
that go
image of
up and
that room
left.
because I've never seen that like snaky thing in the other
To
direction.
the right, you're right. So that is just the one,
Yeah.
but it has to slot into the rooms that want to go up
Yeah,
and
yeah,
left, right?
like
So how many up and
that
lefts do you have?
left down corner, there's probably not a lot of those.
Yeah, this was one of those rare circumstances that did happen, and unfortunately, it got both of you.
Yeah, I'm sure it did because I can't. I guess if you saw New Casuto before you had the glove, maybe you go in and get the hammer. And then
I'm not sure if I did it before or after, but I definitely was not interested in hammer.
Yeah,
yeah, no, I only poked in that town. I didn't see it until after I cleared all the dungeons. I was hoping it was Darunia just to get upstab, and then I was like, oh. And then I actually just read the sign. I went back in just to check the sign, and I was like, okay, that's hammer. That's good to know because I was pretty sure at that point that Darunia was the forest tile.
Yeah, I checked the Darunia sign too because I'm like, if this is any key, I might have turned around and gotten it.
Yeah, because there would have only been one room that both of you would not have been able to get through, and it's that double glove block room with the key door that is such a pain, especially when you have no keys.
Yeah, I wasn't even. I'm always worried about the upstab block room. I don't even think about that room, but I really should.
Yeah, I mean that's
To
a
be
pass through with the number of pass through rooms we have now. It's just
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's a
don't think
lot
it's.
less. Yeah.
yeah, it's not going to show up anywhere near as often. But you gentlemen played a very, very good race, and I am looking forward to whenever game 3 happens, which I don't know if either of you have an idea on when that's going to be.
Sounds like it'll probably be later this week. Probably around this time. Just gotta nail down what exact day it will be, but pretty sure it'll be this week.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't want to make Tabby start at what would be 11 Eastern next week.
Yeah, so we'll
That's
figure it
not
out.
fair to Tabby.
That is fair. With that, you're both 1-1 in this series. Slamu, do you have any final thoughts going into game 3?
No, I mean, keep it exciting. Let's keep this going, I guess.
And Tabby, any final thoughts from you, my friend?
Yeah, just you know, good race. Glad we get to do another one. And thanks, Sonny, for getting this on with ZSR. And always fun to be on the restream. So thank you.
No problem. VT, thank you so much for being able to not only have us on here, but also get the tracking done. Make sure y'all follow the ZSR channels. And with that, VT, I'll let you take us on out of here.
Yep, definitely. Once again, thank you to Big Slamu and Tabby Orange. Please give them a follow if you can. And also a thank you and a possible follow to Sonny Wrath for doing commentary. Next, when is our next? Do we have a Z2R race scheduled soon? I know only got a few more semifinals left to go. Um, Next one I have on the schedule is Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So just for your time zone, that would be game 1 between Chadbert and Angel FM on the other side of the standard tournament. I'm going to send y'all over to Golden Girl, who's doing a Zelda 2 all keys run. So go have fun watching that. And thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.